Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another great day. Great Tuesday morning. Welcome to another day of the Daily Dose. Um, God is great. We're about to hop right into it. It's March 5th, 2024. Just want to make sure that we are all live. We are all healthy. We are all blessed and prosperous. So we're gonna hop right into the verse. We are the number one daily morning mastermind, just getting everybody tapped in and locked in the morning on the way to whatever we're doing so we can have the best day possible. We'll hop right into the verse. Ephesians 3 and 20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. It's just letting us know and reminding us that God is amazing. God can do so much more than we can literally ask or think, right? It's just a testament to his power and his glory, and we can't even fathom how great God is. So remember, whenever you write down your plans, you are praying to God for whatever it is that you want to happen. God can do way more than that. So always remember that. Always think about that, and you'll be blessed. You'll be prosperous because God has a plan for us. We talked about that last week. God has a huge plan for us, and we are um, just excited. You know what I'm saying? Excited to live in this life, excited to be vessels because the end of the verse actually is the key of it. It's the according to the power that works in us, right? So God is in us, and God won't leave us. Make sure that we just stay tapped in with God, and we'll be good to go. The business topic for today is project management. So project management is key in business. Maybe you don't really think about actual project management as it pertains to your business, but every business or every industry has project management going on, whatever, like it doesn't even matter, like whatever you do, you have projects that go on. You need to think about it like that, and that'll help you be able to execute better for whatever you're doing. So these are at the top, these are the different business departments that most people generally have. You have marketing, you have IT, you have change management department, HR, product development, and operations. So each of these departments will have projects within them. Let's say you're rolling out a new marketing plan. That's a project. Let's say you trying to organize your office. You want to get everybody hooked up to computer. You want to have everybody um, connected to the same network. All of that type of stuff is IT. You rolling out new software for the company for everybody to learn. That's a project. You are getting some new cybersecurity attachments to whatever you got going on. That is an IT project. Change management. That is more so kind of in the construction, or if you work in the field, or if you have an industry to where changes can happen uh, while you're actually doing a specific service, right? You have a change management department for that. And all of those changes, they're projects, and we need to treat them as such, right? We need to make sure that we are organized and staying on top of it. HR, everything in HR is a project. You have recruitment, then you have the interview, that's a project. Then you have employee onboarding, that's a project. Then you have all the different other processes and procedures that go into HR management and HR optimization. You want to make sure that we are staying on top of that because it's so important. And we can easily, HR is one of the most important departments in business, period. So want to make sure that you're thinking about that as a project system. And we'll go over more project management. Just want to go over the departments right now that you could potentially have. You got product development. If you make physical products, this all of that's a project, right? You got the start, you got the testing it out, all of those different phases, and then rolling it out to the market. That's a project. And operational, everything you do in your company should have a procedure. We talked about standard operating procedures and how important they are to scaling your business. couple weeks ago. Want to make sure that you understand that your operational procedures are their project. Every time you are looking at something, somebody needs to be able to quickly go into a manual or watch a video and see exactly how it's done so they can be able to execute on that particular item. Those things are projects. And then when you go into actual project management, you got the initiation phase, you have the planning. So the initiation is going to be the idea of the project. Okay, what happened? What's the goal of the project? What are we trying to accomplish by implementing this project? Right. And then you plan it out. That's the planning phase. And then you move into execution. You're going to execute on what the actual goal is, what you said you was going to do in the plan. Then after execution or during execution is monitoring, right? You're going to monitor exactly what you're doing during the project. How is it going? Do we need to do anything different? Do we need to change anything? All of this stuff is happening during that phase. And then you have the project closure. That's when you go over how well did the project do, any lessons learned, how can we make it better in the future. So project management is very, very important to making sure that you maximize your business and you optimize it, right? I want to make sure that we are flowing streamlessly, and all of this stuff can be cumbersome, time consuming at first to get all of these things in place. But once you have all of these things in place, your business is running like smoothly. Then you can easily go here, boom, this is what we do. This also helps you to manage situation, right? The other day we talked about scenario planning. Instead of you looking like the bad guy, even to your customer or to your even an employee, if something happens, you say, okay, let's go back to our company policies and procedures, right? We go back to our company policy procedures. Okay, the company policy procedure says this. So then it's not like you making that decision on the spot to whatever happened. That decision has already been made, and you just referring back to it. So project management is supremely important. Want to make sure that you are staying on top of your project management in your business. Anybody have any thoughts, questions, suggestions about project management? Awesome. So make sure that we're staying on top of that. The next thing we're going to talk about self development is going to be finding a hobby. This is so important because a lot of us, especially now, we get so wrapped up into needing to make money, wanting to make money, not having time to have a hobby, just a lot of different things going on. And we want to focus our attention sometimes away from all of those things. Finding a hobby has a lot of benefits: stress reduction, mental stimulation and learning, enhance creativity, and can give you a sense of fulfillment, and increase social connection. Right? Most hobbies do all of these things. Some hobbies only do some. But I would take it upon yourselves to, if you don't already have a hobby, and even if you do already have a hobby, try to find another one, right? If they're not hitting all those things. Like I said, some hobbies are just something you do by yourself. Maybe you did want to go find a hobby that you're interacting with other people. One of my most favorite things to do outside of, well, one of my most favorite things to do in the world is play basketball. So that's, and I didn't even put it up here, but that's also helps with physical exercise, the social connection, reduces stress, um, definitely enhance creativity. You might not think about that part, but when you're playing basketball, you got to flow and you got to be able to be creative with whatever you're gonna do. The learning part, you run plays in basketball, like you learn, like you actively paying attention to what the offense is doing whenever you're on defense, so you can react and figure out what your strategy is gonna be. So basketball is one of my most favorite things to do, and it actually hits all of these dots. Hobbies are supremely important and they help out uh, with your mental a lot. Anybody have any thoughts, feedback on having a hobby?
Good morning. This is Tashina. I struggle with finding a hobby only because I tell myself I'm too busy to find a hobby.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I don't really know what I want to do. I'm not really a creative person, so I'm working on this finding a hobby thing.
I'll say some tips to finding a hobby is gonna be, well, one, Googling hobbies or Chat GPT and hobbies. Like, what are some common hobbies? Taking a look at those at that list and then going to like do them. It might be like you might go to a potting class, right, where they make clay or they do stuff with clay. It might be going to yoga classes. That can be a hobby, and even though it's exercise, it could be going to poetry slam night. That could be a hobby. There's a whole bunch of different things that you could try to think of that could be a hobby. Another thing that I like to do in the summertime, I love to just be outside, do outside stuff like kayaking and hiking. One of my most favorite things to do during the summertime. I love that. I would definitely consider that a hobby. But like I said, that has no social connection unless I go with somebody. But generally, I would do those things by myself. Also, it's like a hobby is like, okay, what would I do? What do I enjoy? And how can I make, like I said, really making the time to do it. And it can be hard when we got a lot of different things going on, but you will find whenever you do make that time to have a hobby, your life just is a little bit better or a lot better. Bria put in the chat that Pinterest is a great resource for finding hobbies. So I use Pinterest sometimes, like it just pops in my head sometimes, but that Pinterest is a great resource. They do have a lot of cool ideas up there for a hobby. So definitely check out Pinterest as well, Tashina. Anybody else have anything about hobbies, finding a hobby, how hobbies help them?
Good morning. Um, you actually said mine, and I often neglect it, but I go to an open mic poetry night every Wednesday. Um, and it's been months since I've been. I think I've been once in the last probably about 4 or 5 months. But they do it every Wednesday. And so that was the one thing that I did find that I enjoy. I didn't participate in it, but just being able to go and be around other people and listening to other people's artistry, whether it's poetry, singing. Some people did comedy, a lot of different things, but I do definitely need to find a hobby that I stick to because I'm very much like Tashina, and I tell myself I'm entirely too busy to do anything else.
Yeah. And I'll say another component to that is find something that you would do, find something that you would put off the important things to do. Like and that'll be a hobby that sticks because I know for sure I would put off I have put off doing some important tasks just to go play basketball, right? I've done it many times, and it's definitely not a great thing, but it's knowing that okay, this is something that you really, really like to do, right? So as a kid, it's like okay, I would do this in my sleep if I could, you know. But yeah, hobbies are important. Mike put in the chat, he made an effort to make time for hobbies this year, and it's also it helps with your mental health, right? We talked about mental health and mindfulness and self reflection and all of that type of stuff. Hobbies help with that. So if you want to think about it like that as well, is hobbies are making time for self care, right? So yeah, that might help you to cross that barrier of not having the time because it is important. And I forgot to take this off at the bottom from yesterday. Uh, but yeah, anybody have anything else on hobbies? Cool. Well, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Hope everybody have a blessed, wonderful Tuesday. Remember that God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can ask or think. So, everybody, we'll be right back here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Have a great one.